Hello and welcome. It is the completion of Sunday, the 10th day of May, 2020. My name is Derek. This is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and the like, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. And it's not going to be much of a technical analysis video. In fact, I'm going to be talking about fantasy sports and in particular fantasy baseball within this video. But I will go over Bitcoin. I'll do a react video as if there's going to be much of one to gold and silver because I haven't even seen how it's open. It's 8:17 p.m. Eastern as I'm doing this video. So it's 2 hours plus already into its open. And Bitcoin here had a decline on Saturday of 8.5%. And it happened relatively quick. As we can see here last night at 19:45, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, just a wild ride down from 9,500-ish or so, going down to 8,400, losing well more than $1,000. And then we just have been riding this sideways consolidation ever since. Multiple support hits. Where have we been supporting? Well, the first level, I know the volume here bar makes it a little difficult to see, so with that good state, let's for now, when I hide it there, you can see the line much better that way. But so we have this low. That support has been established. It has not been tested because this move and most certainly this move came close but not quite there. This level of support that it was established, you could say was more of a pierce below that, maybe a pierce above that. Either way, we've had some support within the range of 83.50 down to this low at 81 low change. Resistance is most certainly been established at the level it's at now, as well as even a little high up to about 88. We'll call it the all eights number. Of course, short term, we can see all these levels hit that were here. We had this pullback down to the 18 lows here at 1915 and 1930. And now it's rising up towards the 18 highs in this level of resistance. So it's like a nice little setup. But that could just mean, okay, do we make another leg higher up to here? Where do we go from there? Because we ultimately has to break above this level of resistance before we can start filling some of the empty space in which it had away from that. Now let's take a look at gold and silver as it has just opened up, and actually do it this way. Open 0.2%. Yeah, whatever. It's not much of a move, I suppose. Unless it's the holiday today, it's open, and yeah, 10. So 1,800 hours. So you can see this is where it opens from. It's like nothing of a whatever. It was declining a bit on the daily chart, but no, overall it's just really in this sideways whatever consolidation period. Silver is in at 0.6%, so that's like really nothing. Nice little setup though on the daily as it goes. It's been as we have this move that comes above the 18 average of highs on Friday's session like this, and then to further escalate these gains, if it gets above like this 1580 number on the intraday session, and I think it has a big case to be able to ride well into the $16 numbers, even up to 16 and 2/3, 3/4 kind of a level. So, yeah, there's my analysis for the markets. And yeah, I'm going to talk about fantasy baseball now. As I got a 9-game winning streak, as I like to call it. I'm going to show you all my bets in the history on DraftKings in baseball. So from 2014 to 2016, I bet $143.75 in baseball, getting back $87.70, or losing about $60. October the 9th, last year, that's in 2019, I bet 25 cents, and I won $9. I thought to myself that night, a strategy. You know what? Maybe it'll work here. And it most certainly did. And then the next day I played again. I took the wrong team. And why I didn't play the rest of the playoffs? I was all obsessed with the hockey strategy I was trying to figure out on October 9th. Thinking, will it work in baseball? And you know what? My mistake that I made was I didn't continue playing it further. But as the months went on, November, December, there's no baseball. But I'm already practicing and figuring out, yeah, this baseball game is easy, I'm saying to myself. Oh my goodness, this is better than hockey. I'm going to win a lot, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm going to just kick ass. This is no problem. As long as I do what I know, to play the strategy. Well, preseason begins, or spring training as they call it. February, and my mistake here is, why didn't I really play much before? Like February 27, 28, 29, March 1st to 6th. I don't know why I didn't play. I put a quarter down on February 26th and I lost. And I put 95 cents down on March the 7th and I won 45. The next day I put down about 28 and I won 153. The next day, March the 9th, I put down 33. That's the last losing day that I've had. I got back 20. I lost almost $14 that day. Then I bet the same amount the next day and I won 117. March the 11th, I bet $47. I won 113. March the 12th, I bet about 50. But oh my goodness, I won $1.60 that day, literally. So I mean, I call that a break-even day, but technically it was a winning day. And then lockdown. Korean baseball starts. It started May the 5th. I bet $28.85. I won about $3, not quite. Yeah, it's a small break-even day. It's a 10% day, really. $3 profit almost on 28. Yeah, about 10%. And then May the 6th, I bet 28 and I win 153 back. Nice win. And then May the 7th, I bet 23, I win 34. Bet 23 again, I win 54. Bet 23 again, I win 167. Then this morning, I bet $43, winning, $5.90. 9 consecutive winning days in a row now. It's a day off on Mondays. Korean baseball, it's Tuesday to Sunday. And I guess I'll be playing that all the time now. And the schedules are just, oh man. I'm thinking on a psyche level, I don't know, I've never been this way before. I might be a really early waker upper and a really go to bed early guy. And I'll explain why. So anyway, yeah, there's no baseball on Sunday. Now, the way it works for it is Korea's got about a 13-hour time difference from the Eastern time zone in North America. So right now it's 8:24 p.m. in Toronto. That means it's 9:24 a.m. in South Korea. It's plus 13 hours. So they play their games at 6:30 p.m. during the nighttime, which is 5:30 a.m. my time. I can't do any work until the last 30, 40 minutes of the game. That's how it works. I got to know who's playing. After all, this is the screenshot from last night. It was LG versus NCD. The LG Twins versus the NC Dinos. That's the game that I played. So of the $43, it was all from this game here. So this was what was the expected lineups at the time. So I was waiting for them to become projected. I got my weather, which quite frankly isn't usually that important for me, but sometimes it's very important. And then I put these guys in, and I got a strategy that works. If you're really, really interested, let me know. We can talk later on. But it's all about if you see something that can work in any type of investment level, that can give you any type of positive ROI, explore the options, go through simulations, go through all the different things to ensure your mathematics and such, and really execute it for all that you can. And there's going to be no American baseball, I don't think, until the start of June, when that's when preseason will probably start. This lockdown has been not fun. But 5:30 in the morning. That means I have to get up at like 4:45 a.m. See, what I'm doing now for these games, I'll set my alarm clock for 4:45. Get up, do your normal stuff, maybe have a quick bite to eat, and then I'll buy my games before I go to bed. Then I'll put my lineups in between 5 o'clock and 5:30, and then I'll go back to bed usually. And I normally wake up between 8 and 9. And I might just say, screw it, I'll just get up and stay up. After all, there's going to be North American games coming back, which means the volume is going to be magnificent. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's going to be baseball games sometimes. Afternoon, they always have, a lot of times there's matinees, we'll call them. Chicago Cubs, they got lights in 1988. but they only use them some of the time. And then you have the night games, 7 o'clock, 7:30. Oh, there's 10 o'clock and 10:30 games as well. But, see, with Korean baseball, they don't give me lineups until, well, the lineups come out an hour before the game. And sometimes, so that's, and then DraftKings will give you more easier to read lineups, usually 30, 40 minutes before, which is, again, why I'd want to get up around 4:45 for this. Sometimes they have games that start at 4 a.m. Those are going to be just awful times to play. And then 1 o'clock in the morning for their matinees. Or 1 in the morning, which is their 2 p.m. games. Well, that's just go to bed late. That was last night. It was a 1 o'clock in the morning game today. So I went to bed at like 1:20, 1:30, and I did all my work at midnight, put my lineups in, and so on and so forth. But in North America, the baseball lineups come out hours and hours and hours before the game. Meaning there can be a 10:30 game, and I could put my lineup in at 8 o'clock, and I can go to bed at 9:30 even, and then have this all. It's like I don't know what word to use. I hate to use terms like that because it's almost like prejudice racist, and that's exactly what I'm not. But it's like Amish style. Oh, we're going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I guess country folk, the ones that have to get up with the sun. I don't know what term to use, but especially how early it'll be this year's summer. But just whatever the term is used for someone that gets up way, way, way early in the morning, it's probably what it's going to be like. My goal is to be able to make a 6-figure yearly income with fantasy. I know how to crush the baseball and the hockey game. My goal is to figure out every other game there is. Football, I'm getting a decent type of ideas on that, and I'm pretty good as it is at football. But you know what? I'm really not. Statistically, the numbers probably aren't the greatest, although a much better year in 2019, 2020. And basketball, that's another game I want to learn. And then you got a bunch of other ones like golf. I got a couple interesting golf strategies that I'm just thinking. And what I do with them is I bet dimes on those games with the strategy. And if I figure it out, then I'll bet dollars in higher amounts. And I'm just trying to rebuild my bankroll up. So this has been fantastic for me, the fact that these results came in, because on this exact day, I made a significant withdrawal. I left the base minimum that I could in there because, well, I knew the amount of games that were going to be played was going to, well, the delay was in play, but I'm going to be back at it again. And I might as well I'm going to need the cash anyway, and I did need to get a quote-unquote paycheck, so I got my paycheck, and it was bigger than normal. But I've been able to build it up to the point that my maximum bet on March the 12th was like, well, let's just put it this way. I withdrew well more than greater than 50, 60, 75% of my bankroll on March the 12th, leaving back a 3-figure sum. Well, I'm back to a 4-figure sum now because I've been winning. And I want to get it to the point because my goal for bankroll, and really when I say 6 figures, I wouldn't even mind pulling off 7 if it's possible, but my goal is 5 figures bankroll to have on there. And I don't need any more, but I definitely don't want to have less because I calculate the most I can bet in a game. And you know what? Korean baseball, you can't bet much. The $22.95 are in-C bets. I either had to bet that or a lot more. And I just refused to bet a lot more. And then the $43, I could have bet another 20 or so more. There wasn't much more I could have done. Stakes are kind of low. Hockey, it wasn't too great. I could probably, they on an individual game, they could let me bet usually a little over $100 a game. And some games $400 or $500. But I was looking in basketball, a game I cannot win, that it's $400, $1,000, $1,200, $2,000, $3,000 per game, easy to do, in guaranteed tournaments. Which in baseball, that's the type of numbers we're going to be looking at again. So to me, it's not going to be hard for me to say, okay, I want to bet $1,000 on a game. No problem. But in order to do that, I got to have like a $20,000, $25,000 bankroll easy. So if $1,000 bet doesn't go my way and I lose, risk-reward management's always job number one. Okay, whatever. Okay, I had $25,200. Now I got $24,200. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. And that's the type of attitude that I got. Because I realize I got to know how to take my losses and my wins. I've been in this business quite some time, and I know they happen. And if there's going to be 3 or 4 baseball games a day maybe some hockey games, then that's why I figure I need to consistently have that kind of bankroll so that I can be able to make the bets. And then you make my withdrawals when needed based on my wins. I just would never ever need anything more than like a $25,000, $30,000 bankroll. And I never would have to get more. I'd always withdraw to make sure that's its maximum number. And then I suppose in hockey season, when like November comes, the most I'd ever need is probably like $4,000 or $5,000 because hockey's so low. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. I just really wanted to point out to the fact that the charts that I do is really a part-time job to this. And it was frustrating not to have fantasy, but it is coming back. And to be able to dominate the fantasy spectrum. That's my goal. This here is investments for me. And regardless of if you're a truck driver, a dentist, or whatever it is that you're doing, I think it's a fantastic idea. Well, silver, of course, to have as well. Definitely silver and gold. But to also have cryptocurrencies and have like, okay, let's trade this coin for this coin. Oh, Theta's been selling a lot for me lately. Yeah, that's because it's been going up. When other coins go up, it goes down, you'll buy the other one. But just make those trades as well because it is an easy part-time job. And to me, I can just go on here and like, okay, look at these, see, these are the coins that I trade, nothing, what the numbers, anything big. Oh, DGB's up to 220. I don't need that, but I don't need that. That information doesn't do anything for me. It's when I say I don't need that. If it gets up to 240, 250, then maybe I might be saying something. And then whatever else, like Theta 1634. Well, it did like really well. It got to like up in here in this 1750 mark, but it hasn't pulled back much either. So this again, a part-time job. My main focus is dominating the fantasy spectrum and try to find out as many strategies as I can. I got a solid baseball one. I got a solid hockey one. I even got a solid soccer one as well. But actually, you know what? When I say solid soccer, baseball by far is the best. Hockey's number 2, and soccer, well, it's pretty good. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.